Bro, I literally feel so crappy, and I don't know why. I literally slept all day, and I watched Miraculous. That's all I did today. That's all I did. But guess what? It don't matter. Anyways. I think I'll do my makeup because that's all I really know how to do secretly, and talk about my book series, because honestly that's the only thing giving me serotonin right now. Yeah, so I don't even know where to begin. Oh my gosh, my hair is in my eye, literally. Why do I have so much hair? My head hurts. My head hurts. Anyways, so I'm writing a book series. As some people know, I mentioned it in like one video a very long time ago. He's in the living room. I literally feel like crap. Anyways, yeah. I feel like I kind of misled, because when I did mention it back in the whenever blah 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 blah, I mentioned it and I made it sound like it was just one book. But it's not just one book. I mean, the first book is one book. But I'm planning on writing a lot of books because yeah. My head hurts so bad. What is this? So, basically, let's just get into a generalization of what the series is about. The series is about a girl who learns she has powers. Not just like powers, she has a singular power, and it's basically because she what was I saying? Oh, it's because there's a certain type of people who all have a designated power, and they are called Kides. And Kides, hi Oscar, I love you. And Kides are people who have a power. Except for there's also this thing called, like, what's it called? Evolved Kides. I'm literally so out of it. This is why I went live, to make myself in it. Not sure if it's gonna work like that, but yeah. So, there's this thing called Kides, and Kides, I already explained that. Anyways, so she gets sent to this school, but when she gets sent to this school, she starts discovering like all of these secrets about her family, her life. Basically, she learns that her entire life is a lie. So that's really cool. And she learns about this villain named Flamelian. Now, Flamelian is hypothetically, yes, a horrible villain, because she learns that Flamelian is what a lot of Kides are calling a soul hopper. And while some people refuse to explain what a soul hopper means, basically, a soul hopper is a Kide who literally takes people's souls and possesses like dead bodies. So that's great. And that's obviously clearly illegal for a reason, but Flamelian thinks that she's doing this for the good reason because she wants humans to know about the existence of Kides, right? And she thinks she's doing something good because she doesn't think that Kides should be kept a secret. Anyways, clearly, obviously, the girl, Jessica, the main character, doesn't think that Kides should be known to humans. So she's like, this is not a good thing. And she learns, she like has all this motive to fight against Flamelian, which will be discovered when the book is out. I'm not going to get into everything of why she has all this stuff against Flamelian, but Flamelian also kind of has a bunch of stuff against Jessica too. Even though Jessica is a whole child. Like, Jessica is 14 years old. 14 years old. Not older than that. Like, she's a whole child. And Flamelian is old enough to be Jessica's mom. Like, it's a little inappropriate for Flamelian to be targeting this literal child. But she goes after Jessica, and Jessica's like, you know, I'm gonna go after her. But, like, after the first defeat, because Flamelian is a soul hopper, they have hidden Flamelian's soul in a way. So they can try to, defeat Flamelian in whoever's body she's taking over. But at the end of the day, they're not gonna defeat Flamelian until they get her soul. So, that's why there's more than one book. That's why there's more than one. I think I did a really bad explanation on that. My head hurts so bad. But yeah. I've been shifting there a lot recently just because, like, I wanted to make sure everything went the way I thought it should with, like, out the, what's it called, plot holes and stuff. But yeah. Yeah, this story's not going to be on Wattpad. I'm planning on, like, getting a publisher and trying to get, like, the series published. But I do have, like, my own stories on Wattpad that I put there. My Wattpad user is at anonymous_scriptures. I thought someone just broke into my house. I guess not. I like how I just sat there. I was like, oh, damn, someone broke in. I literally just sat here. Oscar? Maybe there is someone in here. Yo, if you're in there, please don't kill my cat. Thanks. Sarah's not even in the state, so it's definitely not her. Whoops. I don't know what color I want to use. Oh, my head hurts. Sending positive vibes, thanks. I just hope they don't hurt my cat. Also, don't eat the Go-Gurt in the fridge. Thank you. I like that Go-Gurt. My eyes are so bad. It's fine. I don't care. I actually do kind of care, but it's whatever. My head literally hurts so much. I've literally been in bed all day. I feel so sick though. Like, not even like sick. I don't know. I just, like, my body hurts, my head hurts. It's stress. Oh yeah, I was talking about things. So yeah. I'm 18. I'm almost 19. I don't really want to turn 19 though. Everyone finna act up when I'm 19 because one time I showed a picture of myself when I was a child and then someone was like, are you sure you're not? Are you sure you're 18? Like, honey, that's a picture of me when I was 12. There's no comparison. Yeah, I don't want to turn 19 either. I didn't even want to turn 18. I wanted to stay 17 forever. Anyways, yeah. Do you guys have questions about the book series? I really like talking about it. It's literally the only thing giving me serotonin at the moment. I've been posting a bunch of like very like aimless TikToks about it. Cause yeah. LOL. I miss when I was 15. Like 15 was like a prime age for me, I think. After that, it was all downhill. Oh, yeah. So I'm gonna call this series My Imaginary Life, and I'm gonna call the first book My True Intentions. Or True Intentions, not My True Intentions. I don't know when it will come out. I've been trying to write it, but I'm honestly super busy with like work. I'm trying to keep up everything lately. I honestly think that's why, I don't know, I think I'm sick because I'm like stressing myself out, because I'm not actually sick. Like I'm sick, but it's not like I have the flu. I literally think I'm sick from stressing myself out. But yeah, so it's gonna have 7 books, and basically the book series will start at first year, which is when they're like 14 years old, 13 to 14, and then 14, 15, 15, 16, all of that. And then they'll graduate in the book series, and then you're gonna see a little bit of their life right after they graduate. But of course, right after that, like this whole war starts. I did rest. I was sleeping all day. That's why I was like, I feel like I'm sick, but I'm not sick, you know? Oh my gosh. We rewatched that video too the other day, that prank calling video. That was so long ago. What was I gonna do next? Oh yeah. Bye, love you. But yeah, I definitely think my favorite out of like all this series is probably Third Year, which is like the 3rd book. But I don't know. Because so you've already wrote it. I've wrote a little bit of the first book. Not much, but a little. I've outlined this series. Like I've outlined how all of the books are gonna go. So I know how the books are gonna go. Like I know how it ends. I know how it begins. I just like outlined all of the major plot points, and then I've like outlined like certain relationships, how they start, how they end, blah blah blah. So yeah. There's sad pieces about it. There's sad, like, there's romance that's good. So let me tell you some tropes I put in here, because, oh, yeah, I put some good tropes. I put, I can't even explain the tropes. I put good tropes in there though, okay? But yeah, so I put a slow burn romance. That one is probably my favorite. I put in a slow burn romance though, and then I also put in a I put in the saddest trope ever. The saddest trope. The saddest trope. The right person, wrong time trope is in there, but there's an even sadder trope. There's an even sadder trope. And that trope is the two lovers who died thinking the other person didn't feel the same way. Oh, that one's gonna kill me. Oh my gosh, that one's gonna kill me literally writing it. Like, there are really happy parts to this series, but then there are also, like, the most sad things ever. Like that. I didn't say who it was. I didn't say who it was. Can't be a spoiler if you don't know who it is. If your books make me cry, I'll never forget you. Honestly, I already know there's gonna be like pieces of it that I'm gonna cry writing because I'm so attached to most of the characters. There are some characters I can't stand. One. But even like the bad characters, I see the good pieces in them. Except for one. I just don't like her. But that's fine. Maybe I'll never like her. But yeah. What other characters' names? So the main character's name is Jessica Williamson. And then she's the main character. And then there's Derek Long, Nick Sushiri, and Blair Smith, Lucas Young. They're all like pretty main characters. Of course there are other main characters as well, but they're like the main characters. I don't know where the books will be sold. Just like the last name in your DR, yeah. Why are you killing off characters I love when I write tragic stories? How diverse is this? It's super diverse, I promise. Like, literally it's so diverse. I never make my books not diverse. Like, anything you read of mine is never going to just be like, literally, I shifted there and I realized I made too many characters only children, so now I'm giving characters siblings because too many of them were only children. So, yeah, that was another thing. I was like, they're all around, like, the same... Anyways, yeah. But it's diverse with, like, race, sexuality, all of that. Everything's super diverse. Yeah, I write on Wattpad all the time, so that's why I was like, if you have seen anything that I've written on Wattpad ever, like, it's never just going to be, like, a bunch of cis, white, straight people. It's never going to be like that. My scripts aren't embarrassing. I think I've read most of my scripts on out. Is there gender diversity? Yeah. What was I gonna do next? Oh, yeah. Are there any trans characters? Yes! Yep, one of the main character's siblings is actually trans. Hi, freaking cool. And don't worry, I'm not gonna be like, yeah, they're trans years after the books and movies are out. Like, it'll be specified in there. like, I would have loved for, like, the thing that J.K. Rowling said about that character to be true. Like, I would have loved it if Ron was trans. But that just doesn't make sense because Mrs. Weasley, like, she literally sat there and she was like, yeah, so I'm gonna have kids until I get a girl. So if that was true, if Ron was born a female, if he was a female at birth, Mrs. Weasley would have never had Ginny, so it didn't make sense to begin with. It never made sense. It never did. And I was like, okay. Oh, my Wattpad is anonymous_scriptures. I mean, if Mrs. Weasley's first kid was a girl, she would have had less kids. Like, so she had her first 2 kids, and then after that, she was like, let's try for a girl because their first pregnancy was accidental. I don't know if you know this, but basically, Bill and Molly, like, Molly got pregnant while they were at Hogwarts. So, that was its own ordeal. But once they had 2 kids, they're like, oh yeah, let's just try to get a girl. And then they got another boy. And then they're like, it's okay, the next one's gonna be a girl. And then they had twin boys. And then they're like, okay, the next one's gonna be a girl. And then they had Ron. So then they're like, the next one's gonna be a girl. And then they finally had a girl. So I was like, look, if Ron was a female at birth, like if Ron was a girl at birth, they would not have had Ginny. It wouldn't have been so soon after. Like, if they did have Ginny, once they knew, it would have been years after Ron. Ginny wouldn't have been a year younger than him. Anyways. Sorry. But yeah, you'll know that the character is trans while you're reading the book. It's not anything else. Wait, so Ginny is younger than Ron? Yes. Ginny is younger than Ron by a year. Yeah, I would have loved it if it was true. I was just like, it doesn't make sense. Like, literally, I would have loved Ron being trans. That would have been amazing, but it just doesn't make sense. Especially because such a key part to the Weasleys giving birth to Ginny was because they wanted to give birth to a girl. So I was like, if he was trans, they wouldn't have ever gotten pregnant with Ginny. It wouldn't have happened. And that's why it was a lie. Very clearly. Yeah, I love Book Ginny. I'm so tired. I'm supposed to be talking about my book, but then I went on a totally different tangent. Yeah. I know, like, I know that J.K. Rowling's transphobic. I was just saying when J.K. Rowling tried to lie to, like, defend herself or whatever, her lie didn't even make sense. Her lie made no sense. I was like, at least make a believable lie. Lie believably. Hi, I love you. J.K. Rowling low-key ruined Hermione for me because she was like, yeah, Hermione's supposed to be me. And I was like, oh, now I like Hermione less. Maybe that's why Hermione makes fun of Luna. That's why Hermione is so close-minded, yeah. Yeah, for real. Like, knowing Hermione was, like, supposed to be based off of J.K. Rowling makes me feel really weird. Not that I don't like that. I mean, I don't know, because when I'm writing my own book, I based a lot of characters off people I knew. Like, most of the characters are based off of people I know. But you'll never know which characters. LOL. So, sucks. Honestly, my only motivation is shifting there. That's how I get motivation to write. It really does. I'll probably be pricing the books like $25, I think. I think that'd be really cool if they got made into movies. Like, that'd be really cool. But I feel like they wouldn't be made into books because there's so many. Yeah, there are biracial characters. Literally, like, one of the main characters is Russian. Like, one of the main characters. Like, the four main characters. Because most of the characters are, like... So most of the main characters, I'm going to be doing a point of view in a chapter in at least one of the books for each of them every now and then. But they'll all have, like, their own point of view, and one of them is Russian. But there's only, like, four main characters. It'll be out whenever I finish writing it and going through that process. The main character doesn't have, like, a lot of trauma, but there's a little bit of trauma. Yeah, they're LGBTQ characters. So basically, it's just about a girl who has powers. She figures out a lot of secret things about her family. So then she goes to fight this villain who has it out for her because of other reasons that will be explained once you read it. But like, it's inappropriate. The villain has it out for her because literal 14-year-old villain old enough to be her mom. Weird. But the villain wants humans to know about the existence of kites, and the main character is like, no, it's a secret for a reason, because if humans knew about the existence of kites, then they would try to get us to help them with problems that power shouldn't be used for. It takes place in America. And there's gonna be like a lot of like places in America that they're going to. Like, the school is located in Alaska. Just because they're like, oh yeah, let's put the school in Alaska because that's far away from the humans. And then, but most of the characters live in like all around the world. They can live everywhere. So they go to these places, especially if they're friends with like the main characters. Then the main characters will like fly out to their friends' houses, go there. Is the villain a male? So there's something. I'm trying to explain this without giving anything away. So the villain is Flamelian is a female, but there's another person who is a villain who is male, but they're not really. We don't know that we're fighting against them until later in the series. Like, it starts over here with her, and then so the first book is gonna be called My True Intentions, not My True Intentions. Oh my gosh. So the series is called My Imaginary Life. The first book is True Intentions. Yes, there's a slow burn romance, like a very slow burn romance. Not me writing notes. When do you think it will be released? I honestly don't know. It just depends on how long it takes me to write it, because I procrastinate so long. I procrastinate way too long all the time. I already know, like, I'm just excited to see ships and stuff. Have you based any of the characters' relationships off of relationships in your DRs? No, none of them are based off of relationships in my DRs, actually. Literally, it goes crazy in my head because I've gone there so many times. Like, I've gone to my own book series so many times. Like, it's literally insane. That would be really cool, though, if I made a story based off of things in my DRs, but should I put hormone monsters in my DR? Yes. Yeah. It's gonna be in bookstores. It's not gonna be on Wattpad. Do you shift as the main character? I have shifted as the main character before, but I've also shifted just as, like, myself before. Are you friends with the characters? Yeah. Yeah, there are lots of other creatures besides humans. There's gonna be elves, goblins, mermaids, pixies. There's so many really cool things. Like they literally have an entire class about pixies. They have a class about mermaids. It's called oceanology, and you're gonna be learning about these other creatures while you're in the book series. Like because the main character, I specifically made the main character clueless about the world. That way, you're learning with the main character. Yeah, they go to a school. The school is called Kaidel Academy. But they're also going to be graduating the school during the book series. Like you'll literally get to see how graduation is like and everything. What aesthetic would you give this book? I don't know. It definitely has like a very fantasy aesthetic, but yeah. Is it gonna end when they graduate? No. I'm writing 7 books. I recommend all ages. Like I've made it like age appropriate, so it'll be good for all ages. I've already shifted to my book before. That's how I like notice if like characters are flat, if there's a plot hole, if all of the characters are too much of like this one thing. Like I had way too many only like kids in there, like only children. So I'm like, okay, I need to give more characters siblings because most of them don't have siblings. Yeah, there's LGBTQ relationships and characters. How old is the main character when they start this school? And do they go to school right at the beginning of the book? So the main character is 14 years old. She was supposed to be 13 when she started going to the school, but there was like this misunderstanding with her parents, and they were like, oh my gosh, we sent you to the school late. So basically, the book starts with her parents explaining to her that she has powers, that she is a guide, and that she has to go to the school, and then they send her off to the school. I know, I'm literally so excited. I've been making TikToks about it, even though the TikToks I feel like are only funny to me, but they're still funny. Yeah, I'm still on book 1. I've outlined all of the books, so because I didn't want to just outline the first book and not know like how it ends. I had my best friend help me outline all these books, who's also my roommate, because when I came up with the first book, I was like, oh, I could do this. Originally, I was gonna end. What status is Jessica? Like, is she rich? No. So, Jessica lives in a suburban town, but she describes her house as very cozy. Her house is actually the smallest in the suburban town, and her parents are like lower middle class. Like, the entire town is mostly middle class, but her parents are definitely on the lower side of the middle class. She's not like rich by any means, but she's not very poor. But yeah, so when I came up with the book idea, I had my roommate help me outline everything, who wasn't my roommate at the time that we were outlining it all. But yeah, I had her help me outline everything just so I made sure everything made sense. And she helped me make a lot of it. She doesn't even know every little detail that I put in there because I wanted there to be surprises for her as well. And so Jessica, how do I explain this? Jessica has really long, dark, curly hair. And she has like lighter eyes. Like it's really long. Which doesn't really go to her benefit for a while. Is one of your books called The Fire Within? Yeah, that's one of my Wattpad stories. Yeah, it's going to be super duper cool. I think that you guys will really enjoy it. Like literally, I've put so much. Is there going to be a mental health part in your books? Kinda not really. Mental health is talked about a lot in the third book just because, yeah. Just because of like events that happened. What inspired you to start writing your series? The last dream I had before my dad died was about this series, and I was like, oh my gosh, that dream was so cool, it was so realistic, I have to write a book about it. So that's really how it happened. Because literally, like, I had that dream, and then I told my best friend about the dream, and then I was like, oh yeah, and she's like, you should make a book about that. And I was like, oh, you're a genius, you have to help me outline it. So I was really, really, really excited about that. Anyways, I think I'm going to end the live here. My head really hurts, but I hope you guys have a great night, and as always, happy birthday.